Hello. Okay. How does the sound? I know, I could see it in OBS. It wasn't, does it sound as good as before? Sometimes I don't know if the right mic is actually turned on because there's so many different devices that have audio. But anyway, Windows had an update and the lower right sound clicky thing, if you clicked it before, it would show you every device you had and you can enable and disable everything that you needed to. And that's how it would kind of jump between speaker, headphones, this Yeti speaker thing I've got. And that's how it would make things work. And I went away on a trip, I come back, Windows updated, and that interface is completely gone. It's replaced by something else that's less functional. I mean, it's simpler, easier for the lay person because it didn't have all these options. And but I'm sure there's a way for me to go in and do what I need to do, but it's not there. So apologize. So half the time I was actually trolling you guys. I was doing, but I was, I thought I was, but I was silent the whole time. So I could just. Anyway, so. Anyway, mime work. Thank you, Run Elephant. So, yeah, welcome in everybody. What do we got? We got Kirihiko. We've got Run Elephant. Those are our mods, of course. We got folks from the Netherlands, France. It looks like a bunch of new people I haven't seen before. Nero Knight. I haven't seen that name. Lalo de la Sol. Idiot Savant. A whole bunch of regulars as well. So that's awesome. All right. I think Crispy is asleep. This isn't his normal bedtime. He reads a bedtime story around 10:45, 10:48. Brush the teeth. Oh, no. 10:48, warm glass of milk. 10:57, brush your teeth. 11:04, lights out. Bed. All right. Thanks for the cheer, Queen City Amusements. Have a good night. Hoorah has subscribed for 3 months. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It is 11:14 at night. Annie is okay. Vero Vetaruski is working on commissions. Very cool. One Cold Monkey has subscribed. Thank you very much, One Cold Monkey. So tonight, Francis Pet. We're doing some very boring stuff, yes. Sophista 97. Roasting Crispy when he isn't here to defend himself. Who knows? Maybe he's secretly watching from his bed. Tempting the fates. Tempting his mother coming in. Saying, lights out, Crispy. Yes. So, Silence562 wants a shout out. There you go. We're going to do some art that's very kind of boring, I think. First off, I'm going to demonstrate how you cut a board. Very good survival tactic if you find yourself incarcerated. It's like shivving. Yeah, I cut that board sharp. I'll be right back. Hold on. Get a pair of scissors. I was going to demo how you cut a board, and to do it you needed long scissors, And these are the only ones I could find. It's not going to be much of a demo. I'm going to attempt to do it with short scissors. I was going to say that the technique is to use long scissors and to go slow and long, and but I'm going to have to go shorter, faster. Alright, okay. There's the trim line. I don't know if this is going to work. Screw it. I don't have the proper tools. So I'm going to tape these boards together. I'm doing a double page spread tonight. Epic Quest, just want to say I was looking at your stuff the other day, saw Comic Book Greats with Stan Lee, featuring you. Was awesome. I did that in 1992. That was what, 25 years ago? Me and Stan. I would never have thought when I did those videos they would still be around in some form today. I figure, who's going to buy videos of an artist talking to Stan Lee? And here we are. So this is our artist tape. It is non-acidic, I think, or it won't turn the paper yellow. Okay. This is a bigger board, so I'm going to have to change this up a little bit. Pull back. How's the stream? Is it laggy? It shouldn't be laggy. It's so weird. The reason why I say it shouldn't be is because I just upgraded. Alright, great. I just upgraded to giga speed. I don't get quite the 1 gigabyte gigabits per second, but I'm getting like 500 plus on the download and about 35 to 40 megabits per second on the upload, which is double what I was doing before. So if it's laggy, it's on you. Right? You might want to check your pipeline. Clean it. Fresh QL. Do you get those Qbert pages free? No, I pay for them. I like supporting my local schools and businesses. And the way I look at it is when you see professional tennis players, I'm sure all of you are into professional tennis. They carry around like, they have a match and they'll have like 15 tennis rackets with them. You go to a concert, you see a professional musician with a guitar, and they've got like 8 guitars on the side for one performance. I have 1 pencil, but I have a lot of paper. I feel like the paper is a negligible cost of business, even if it costs like $3 a sheet. $5 a sheet. I mean, if you think about it, right? Same with all the art supplies. The cost of our business of creating art is so low compared to anything else, right? Don't need expensive stuff. I mean, it's not like we're painting where oil paint's very expensive. So I don't mind paying for all this stuff. I do get some free supplies every now and then from different companies. Happy to promote them, but it's not expected. And it's not really something I seek out. Spooky Omen has subscribed. Casual Hero has cheered. Explain the lines on the board. We'll do that. Programmer Art has resubscribed. Best thing on the internet and market. Fantastic. One Cold Monkey has said, I guess the bot didn't miss my resub last stream. It was just really slow. Cool. Silence6562 has subscribed with Prime. And Kuyamu has cheered. Thank you very much. And I think Dorkbeard the Flatulent. Dorkbeard the Flatulent and the Pickle Weasel. Great names. Has subscribed using Prime. I'm going to talk about Prime. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you're new to this, you get a complimentary Twitch subscription because Twitch is owned by Amazon, and so allows you to support your favorite streams. All right, so what I'm going to do, it's kind of dark. What the hell? There we go. Let's pump up the lights here. Okay. All right. It's kind of hard to see this because it's so... I don't know if I can pull back a little bit more. No, there's no way. Okay. It's just you're just gonna have to use your imagination. Golden Hansag has subscribed. Thank you very much. Faustus Bob has subscribed. Sehr gut. Vielen Dank. Quick Draw 13. That's right. I like the fact that you guys know the answers to a lot of the questions in stream, and you guys are almost like unofficial content moderators. So I have this image. I can't really tell you exactly what it is, but I imagine two characters sort of dancing across a rooftop of a city that's very gothic and dark. Slim Hulk 31. I'm Jim Lee, the live Twitch stream first timer. This is already so awesome. I'm glad your expectations are so low. Welcome in. Yep, the Pickle Weasel. All right, first off, how many other people stream and draw within the first 5 minutes? Can anyone name anyone that does that? Just FYI, just let me know. Okay. It's kind of fun drawing this size because it's so different. It reminds me a lot of art classes when I was a kid. Let's see what I got here. Things around me are falling apart. So I have to do at least half of this before I leave. I fly out tomorrow morning for Orlando MegaCon. MegaCon in Orlando, Florida. I don't know if anyone else is going that's in here in the stream. And apparently a tropical storm is going to be there, so it's going to be very wet. I think it's like 40% chance of rain tomorrow, 80 the next day, 100% on Sunday, 80% on Monday. I mean, it's going to be wet. See you later, Dapico Weasel. It's, I think, 88% humidity or something like that. Bamfart, speaking of Rob Liefeld, why is he trying to throw Jim Lee under the bus? I don't think he was throwing me under the bus. We're friends. I think we're just goofing around. There was no throwing under the bus. I'm not a big fan of drawing feet. I actually got that from Mike Mignola, who got it from Frank Frazetta. It's just a way of kind of planning characters into a composition. Someone asked what these blue lines are. So the outer blue line is the trim line, so that's where the paper gets cut. So that marks the trim line. So the out is the farthest edge of the bleed of the page. So this is the trim line. So the paper theoretically gets cut there and here. So this is the live area where I'm shading in. This is the live area. And the paper gets cut here and here. But you want to draw all the way out here because the cutter is not, well, it used to not be as precise. It's fairly precise now, but if it cuts here or here, depending on the registration of the art, on the printer, you'll get different crops. And so it's important that you don't get a bit of white there, that you actually draw all the way out to the edges. So that's what that extra 1/4 inch all the way around is, what it represents. I realize I have no eraser. See if I can find it. Tither, the artist, has subscribed. Golden Hans Sag has resubscribed for 3 months. Thank you very much. And then this dotted line here is where copy is, so word balloon should be within this dotted blue line. You could go all the way here, but I guess the fear is that it could get possibly cropped off or look awkward being so close to the edge. These are all guidelines. I think you can push the word balloons further out if you wanted to. These are just hashtags represent thirds of a page. This represents half a page, third of a page. right? 1, 2, 3 halves. Same thing up here, third, third and a half, more or less. Because this is extra material outside the cut line, you have 2 sections of extra material. So this is wider than it will be. So you got to figure on this side, the actual trim line is right here. And the trim line over here. It's very, look at this. Just draw reasonably within the center here. You'll be fine. I don't want to overthink it. But I don't want to draw something important right here because it definitely will get cut off pretty badly. So do you have to draw the arm longer where across the middle? No, it's not that it's going to get cut there. It's just that the paper also gets pinched in the middle, and on a trade paperback, you will lose some art there. If you look at Superman Unchained, which is a pretty thick hardcover, the periodical double-page folds look better, in my opinion, than in the trade, in the collected edition, because the way it's bound gets very technical. It's hard to see the art in the middle of the crease, the center divide, so things look shorter. So if you wanted to really think about it, you would draw things longer in the gutter. It would look weird in the periodical, it would look better in the trade. I don't know. Your face seems a bit off the scene. Yeah, Zenefon DP. It's by design. I make weird facial expressions when I draw. There's no need to share that. My facial tics with humanity. Should be looking at the art anyway. I do move into camera here if I talk directly to you, but if I'm drawing, you get this ear. I should put an ad. I'm selling advertising space right here. Twitch, if you're hearing, if you wanna. What does Slim Hulk say? Slim Hulk is new. Slim Hulk is going. I can't see anything he said. Ear cam. Z Scotty Austin, and we're just doing a double page shred for fun. What does Slim Hulk say? See you later, Annie is okay. I don't know what Slim Hulk said that everyone's going. Mutants Molded My Morals has subscribed to tier 2 for 2 months. Thank you very much. Thanks for inspiring me for 30 plus years. Thank you. Nova Prime X. What systems were the Wildcats video games? SNES 64. Yes. 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 Goodnight, Tiger's Tail. Alright, what do I got? I don't know. do I? I don't know. I do that. What I liked about this one was that you're fully engaged with this figure. If I go with this, I think it's an interesting composition. But it's a little bit like the camera's further back. It doesn't quite have the same intensity. Yeah, I don't know. Always stick with your first idea, kids. I'd say 75% of the time you're going to be right. Okay. Spent a lot of time today driving around. Spent 4 hours at the DMV, 5 in total actually. No, four in total, sorry. It's a crazy amount of time. Listening to Smooth Criminal, Michael Jackson song, rocking out. And then the Alien Ant Farms version. The Annie is Okay avatar kind of triggered a memory. Anyway. Gotta set an appointment at the DMV. Best way to save time. Thank you, Wolf McQueen. Rub it in. It was crazy busy. Almost got kicked out. Abyssia, I usually watch you on YouTube. I finally follow you on Twitch. This is my first stream. I'm going to go sleep now. Good night. Good night. Hey, Cryptic Games. Let's try. See, I like this arm, the cocked nature of this arm, right? Shoulder flaring out to the elbow, coming back, gripping space, whatever this might be. Let's make it a tube for now. Kind of a crazy pose. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm at the DMV means I'm at work. I actually was at the DMV today. Crazy, crazy. How's that for? That's not irony. I don't know what that is. Once I get the poses down, I will probably be a little more conversant. I'm just kind of been thinking about this double page spread for some time now. Kind of had different versions in my head. But until you put it down on paper, you can't really tell what's going on. Kind of crazy. It's like a ballet in outer space. That's just crazy. Sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing. Do not appraise it. Do not. It's a ballet. That would be a bad tangent if they just touched. Let's figure that one out. The massage. Now that's just almost too symmetrical. In my head, I've got Smooth Criminal going. It's like, wee, wee. I don't know if I want to show this character's back, like, mostly back. Because that's the other option. Hot for my flavor. Are you going to Century Dragon tomorrow? I am not. I'm going to be on a plane. Hey, Poop Kid, how you doing? Well, done at 8 a.m. I think the car picks me up at 7:30. The goal is to get half of this done and get it to Scott, and then the other half. As long as one half's done and I know where this all ends up, I can take. I would have enough information that I could just finish the other half separately. Looks like he's punching the other character though. A little bit, which isn't bad, because it kind of suggests an antagonistic relationship between the two. Poop Kid has subscribed 9 months in a row. Thank you very much, Poop Kid, PK. War306 just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much, 9 months in a row. 99 Hits has subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much. Mr. Dieg, morning from Italia, Italy. Buongiorno, Mr. Dieg. Okay. Will YouTube not, will it make me delete the humming? Black Panther. Shh. I did, I don't know if I saw the replies, how many people are going to MegaCon that are in the stream. Although it's very late on the East Coast, I wouldn't imagine anyone to be up. No. Dun, dun. Cinderfall, Mr. Freeze. Hey, how you doing, man? Mr. Freeze. I used to wear like a tin bucket. Blue flowing robes, light blue flowing robes, maybe, yes, no? It's been a while. Old guildmate, if you can call it a guild, I guess. Tower mate. We used to own a tower. Got hacked. Kind of killed the game for us. Filled this tower with like all this loot and gold and totally a fan. TAF, hello. HX Kong, I'm definitely going. Cinderful, ha, barely remember that. Yeah, remember we had this gigantic tower. It wasn't the biggest structure in the game, but it was like a huge tower. We all got different quarters of it. And then we bought tents, like, and we put the tents in front of the door of the tower, so no one could walk up to the door. And if you ask yourself, well, how would you get into the tower? Well, you basically drop a rune in front of the door. You mark it so you can teleport to that rune. And so you basically teleport into the space, open the door with a key, enter the tower. And that would prevent anyone from basically hacking your front door and getting in. Other things that people would do, they would hide. They would hide invisibly by the door, wait for people to port to the door, and then jump out and kill them, or run inside, drop a rune and mark it or something, and or not drop a rune, but they'd go in and kill people or whatever, loot. But I think there was like a weird tower corner hack where if you got to a corner of the tower, you could just kind of keep forcing it, forcing that angle, and somehow get in. At the DMV. I was at the DMV too. Welcome in, Biddy. My friend actually logged in once and someone had built a house where he had last logged out. And so I presumed that he just looted and left. Okay. That could have possibly happened as well. It was an interesting game. Like people just basically populated the lands. And players would then create their own towns. Like a bunch of them would get together, buy buildings, and populate a road, and they would create little governments and defense forces, and they were like role playing in this fictional game. It was pretty, it's pretty robust. It was the first one where you could actually kind of build a 3D neighborhood. Go with this, but let me see if there's another way to do this where I can get. At this point in the game, see, I haven't really invested too much time or effort in any of this. This is the time where you should be really trying everything that kind of amuses you creatively, as it were. So you can find exactly what it is that works for you. Hey Jim, how light do you recommend I draw my line art for watercolor artists? I don't know. I don't really draw for watercolor. I would say draw it a certain way, and if it looks bad, lighten it up the next time. Trial and error. How's that? Do you like that answer? drawing. Okay. Now it looks like this character's kicking that character. Interesting. So many things happening every time I draw. It also depends on whether you want, if you want the, some watercolor artists like to have the pencils kind of, that structure kind of appear underneath. It's like, how much salt should I put on a steak to make it taste good? Salt to taste is usually what they recipes say, right? You cook it, and then at the end they go salt to taste. Hello, Janella. How are you? Yeah, it's almost like you're watching a fight in 3D animation. If you took all these versions and made an animated GIF, it would look like they were fighting each other, right? I'm working on something, Janella. A visual artist. What are you going for, Jim? Should it look like one is hitting and kicking the other? No, no. It not necessarily, but I like the implication of that physical kind of conflict through the poses, where it maybe isn't quite clear. for shimming these hips a little further behind. Been so busy I haven't even had time to like make phone calls, like short 5-minute phone calls. Crazy busy. So, I don't think the mic, I don't think I have the right mic on. This will be the test. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, there's something going on. Hello. There's still a mic that's picking up sound. Sorry, guys. Hello, hello. turn off all these but this one. So I mute this mic. Everything else is muted. Alright. It's weird because when I hit mute on this mic, I still get some sound popping up on OBS. It must just be internal noise? I don't know. I'm Greeking in backgrounds right now. I don't know where the word Greeking comes. It's not Greek like G-R-E-E-K. It's G-R-I-E something. C. It means kind of blocking out. Kind of loose shapes. Thank you, Red Remedy? Yanny all the way, dude. Yanny. Yeah, I ignore the trolls. The trolls. The trolls. Ah, long day, man. Long day. A lot going on at the office. Went out to dinner with some friends. Got home at 10. Had to reinstall all my software. Reinstall software on my Mac laptop. It was just getting filled up. The system was getting filled up. The entire drive was filled up with the system. It's a known issue. Just easier just to, I'll tell you, iCloud on one hand is like a great convenience, but on the other hand it is confusing if you have multiple devices. I have multiple phones, multiple computers, laptops, humble brag. I should stop complaining, but yeah. I actually have, it's a pain. It's a pain. Like you move files, you have to wait to download it. You don't know where it is. I mean, it's everywhere but nowhere. So I don't really know where it is. It's in the cloud. I said Yanny. Or I said Laurel. I said Yanny. Kenshiro Kasumi 83 has subscribed. Thank you very much. Alex Tripsevsky has cheered. Thank you very much for the generous cheer. I appreciate it. Very cool. Casual Hero has also cheered. Cafe 24/7 is non-copyright, just really relaxed instrumental playlist for YouTube backgrounds. Are you suggesting I play something? Jonella has cheered 200 bits. Alex Trevesky has subscribed. Thank you very much for subscribing, as well as for the cheer. 99 Hits has subscribed. War306 has resubscribed 9 months running. Very cool. Yeah, I could go to Cafe 24/7. Tripsevsky. Tripchevsky. Let's see what happens if I do this. All right. Rainy Jazz. Ooh. How do I know, though? Doesn't say that it's it doesn't say that it's non-copyrighted. There's a technical abbreviation for it. Hey, Joshua Flower, 1979. Tripchevsky. That's what I meant to say. Welcome back, Ren. Cleaner than ever. We can play our own music in the background, to be honest. Yeah, you should do that. I'm going to crowdsource the music. You should be playing Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal, because that's what I have here. If you have it playing there, you're hearing what I hear. This will make a lot more sense to you. So this part of the drawing process is what I call, I'm making it up, I'm going to call it cooking. Baking. It's baking. And what that means is I'm just basically letting it sit. If you notice when you do your own drawing, if you let it sit for like a week or a month or 2 months and look back at the drawing, you'll see mistakes you didn't see when you created the art. And that's because when we create art, we're kind of blind to our own faults or inability to see things clearly, because we get caught up in the excitement of the creation of the act. So the object is to bring that objectivity to your work faster than 3 months, because who has time to draw something, wait 3 months and finish it? Faster than 1 month, faster than a week. So we're trying to bring it down to like 2 minutes. So you draw it, dump it out of your head, look at it as if someone else drew it, and then you could see it for what it truly is versus what you think it is when you draw it. Kuyamu, Brianna, everything will be okay. I'm not sure what I'm referring to, but Kuyamu has been an ardent supporter of the stream, also on Discord. It's good to have all you guys here. Nabil Ahmad 702 has subscribed with Twitch Prime. Hey Nabil, what are you doing at this hour? Nabil is a good buddy of mine. Is this still Ramadan? Anyone know? Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. So, that's rough. It's hard work. I went to Egypt once, and it was during Ramadan, and I was going to try to partake and then kind of follow the local custom. It was, it is, all I want is in and out. Yeah. I think I lasted 2 hours. I was like, I gotta eat. I'm a growing boy. So anyway, yeah. Welcome in, Nabil. Good to see you. Anthony Romwell, thanks for the stream. Night, bro. Good night. Have a good one. Dadoots has called out Kirihiko and Ren Elephant for being best mods. I have to heartily agree. Xerxes, yay, I finally get to subscribe to you. Welcome in, Xerxes. Wolf McQueen, that's what she said. I get it now. I'm like, what's going on? Why are they laughing? I get it. I may be slow, but I'm not dumb. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just letting it sit, and I'm looking at it. I definitely get this vibe like the foot's kicking him, but like I said, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I can certainly pull it back just a little bit too. Huh. I don't know. So at this point, at some point, I have to draw through the figures to make the building seem real and three-dimensional. If I wanted to be fancy, I could put them mostly in black silhouette and have behind them like these really colorful Times Square kind of images, but unfortunately I'm not that kind of artist. I can't pull it off. Know your limitations, as it were. No. It was better the other way. More movement. Bag of Spaghetti has subscribed. Your talent combined by lack thereof creates balance in the universe. I like that. It's very thoughtful. Appreciate it. It's a very clever way of passing on a compliment. I am going to be at MegaCon this Saturday. Limitations, what happened to confidence? I'm just making small talk about Frost. I'm going to spam you more cat vids in the future. Nice. The game store online. Have you been given a script that had something you didn't want to draw? I think every script has something you don't want to draw. But every script has stuff you want to draw. But I don't know if I can wax for a bit whether what you want to draw really factors into the equation, right? I'm a professional working artist. I get paid to draw. I'm hired to draw things. In fact, when I sell myself, I say, hey, hire me, I will draw your story. And I will do it to the best of my ability. So whether I want to draw a scene or not, I don't know if that really factors in. I think it's a dangerous kind of notion to even entertain. I think the important things are how fast can you do it and how good can you make it look. And again, I think maybe how much you want to draw may factor into how good you can make it look, but I don't know if... I think I've drawn plenty of things I didn't really think I care to draw. I think I still made them look good. And then there's plenty of things I thought were awesome scenes, and I tried to draw them as best as I could, and I kind of missed it. So I think there's some value to wanting to draw something in terms of how it makes the final thing look good. But I will even throw in this weird sort of curveball, which is how much you like the characters of the scene impacts how much you like the art. Right? I draw a picture of a guy with like a knife. You know, that's an interesting picture of a guy with a knife. If I turn the knife into 3 claws coming out of his hand, you like it a lot more. It's the same drawing. You know, I draw a guy in silhouette with a cape. I put 2 pointy ears on him. You're going to pay me 5 times, 50 times more for that sketch than if I didn't have those ears on his head. Has nothing to do with the quality of the drawing. And then lastly, I'll say, reading the story, if you like the story and you fall in love with the characters through the combination of the art and the dialogue, the storytelling, you know, that has to cloud your opinion of how good you think the art is, right? It doesn't even have to be good. You could be a 9-year-old kid reading a comic book for the first time and love something that really isn't drawn that well, but you love it because you love it, because you don't have really critical abilities to assess art at that age. And then you kind of, it's like Pavlovian. Boom, you're imprinted on that artist. That guy is your favorite, or that person is your favorite artist for all time, and you can't shake it. Chunk Style 3030. How dare you not stream that Justice League #2 Martian Manhunter variant? I had to do that very quickly. I had to do that before I left to Japan. So I want to say I did it very quickly in the middle of the night. And I don't stream it because I don't want to put the mods out. That's one of the things, right? I figure they're important to this stream. They're important to everything that we're doing here on Twitch. And there's only 3 of them. And they have lives. They have, like Ren, important battles, matches of Fortnite they have to attend to every evening. And so it's not that they aren't willing to stay up late and mod, or, you know, on Fridays, Saturdays, whatever. I think it's modding on short notice. That's the tough one. And so if I say, hey, I'm gonna draw tonight, they would feel somewhat either guilty or obligated, maybe, mod. And I don't want to do that, because I think you do that too often. It just it grinds on people. It creates mental wear and tear over time. And I want them to be fresh. I want them to be looking forward to modding streams and all that kind of stuff. So I just have to be responsible in my stream schedule and recognize that I'm not going to be able to stream everything I draw, precisely because I don't know sometimes if I'm going to draw in the evening or not. There's family obligations. Sometimes I'm just tired, I can't do it. But then other times I'm inspired and I go, like, I'm going to draw tonight. Should I stream it? Well, I haven't told anyone, and it's an hour away, so I don't think it's fair. I could videotape it, or tape it, and then play it another time. And eventually I think I'll do that. I just haven't gotten to that point yet. Because then I feel obligated to... so much obligation. Oh my God, this is such a burden. Then I feel obligated that if I do stream it, that I have to sit here and sort of narrate the night or interact. I don't know if I want to just stream a video and not be present. I think part of the fun of streaming, live streaming, well, the definition of live streaming is that you're there while what's happening, right? So if I'm just videotaping and putting out there, that's a different proposition. So, and if I do that, I'm going to do it with more concrete than a videotape of, or a video of live drawing that's broadcast later. Meaning I'll do like tutorials where I'll go, hey, I'm going to just draw hands, I'll pre-record it, and then put it out there, and it becomes its own thing that exists and doesn't necessarily need the interplay and the interaction with chat. Hyper Viper 89, you got a good audience, you don't always need a mod. I do agree with both. I agree with not a good audience. I think we have a great audience. We have amazing fans. For the number of fans we have, the quotient, if you divide the number of fans by trolls, you get a very, very high number. Or if you divide the number of trolls by fans, you get a very, very low number, right? It's 1 in 1,000, 1 in 500, whatever. It's very, very low. And so I agree with you. That said, it's good to have support people that can answer questions on your behalf. There's stuff we do at the end of the streams where we go raid, which is kind of a fun thing to do. And I know that if something happens, I always have someone that I can turn to in stream that will take care of things. And so there's value there, even if beyond just like the civility within chat, right? I get that. I think you guys are very good about that. I think you guys are funny and you get it and you're engaging and respectful of each other and kind of watch your language. And the trolling is pretty minimal. So, and I think that's what keeps me interested in doing this, right? But there are other aspects to all this that it's good to have another set of eyes out there, or 2 or 3. It's like having a producer, Curly Cook has subscribed. HX Kong has subscribed. Let's see who else. The Game Store Online donated. Thank you for an absolutely amazing full answer to my question. I was hoping for a cool story, and your answer was the boss. You rock. Yet you make me angry with how amazing your art is. I'll never be that good. I have accepted it. Incredible. Thank you very much. Clip Whitehouse has rated us with a party of 32. All right. Welcome in, Clip Whitehouse. Shoot and Butte. Girl. Chip raid. Shoot and Butte. Girl. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. How funny. I get at the chip part. Got it. Welcome in, guys. It's funny. Hey, Chip Whitehouse. Yes, you got it perfectly. Thank you very much. Hello, Max Meter. Is this the Jim Lee? It's the only one in the stream right now, as far as I know. So this is as good as it gets for you. HX Kong, thanks for the awesome streams, Jim. This is my first time subscribing to someone on Twitch, so I figured it would be my favorite artist. Haha. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's nice to have all this company late at night. Oof. Can I tell you something? This all up here, this OBS, so every time I restart this computer, it drops out one of the webcams. And so I have to basically install, unplug it, replug it in, set it up, add chroma key filter. The settings are all tweaked every time I do it. Yeah. That's not good. That's not good at all. Whoa. Alex Tripchevsky has alerted us to the fact that it's 5:30 somewhere else in the world. Yeah, chroma key can get annoying for sure. And I just don't have it illuminated. It's behind me. I just need to throw light on there. I sigh a lot. Noise up there. There we go. All right, Tith. Or Tooth? Can't remember what we decided your name was. Tith or Tooth? Off to bed. Good night. Tripchevsky. Thank you. Tripchevsky. Quick Draw 13, drawing a bitch of a down shot, then drawing a, I don't even know how to say it. It's late at night. Drawing a down shot. Been going at it all afternoon and can't seem to get it how I want to be. Best to walk away for a while or persevere. Walk away for a while and then persevere. How's that? Walk away for a while, let it bake, come back, look at it, try a couple other things. Paracore, the moment you take a day off and it begins with stream budget, like, welcome in. Welcome. Good morning, Sebastian Dreyuk. Disco Landa has subscribed. Thank you very much. Thanks, Papa Goat. You're welcome. All right, let's see. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, am I happy with this? Am I happy with this? Let me try something here. The people coming in from Chip Whitehouse, what were you guys doing? What were you streaming? What were you watching being streamed? Before or after? Before or after? One, two, one. Actually, it looks very similar. I kind of like that. I think while moving it higher up created a more unusual pose, it also made it look a little uncomfortable. Then I lose that element of the crotch. I want to move him all the way up here. That knee looks painful. I don't know why. All right, let's do it. It doesn't get any less painful waiting. Adjust the backgrounds now too. plain smooth criminal. That's what I got. Interesting. So Chip Whitehouse, you work with digital assets or reference and then kind of build off of kind of like concept artists that do locations like alien floating planets and stuff. They'll take like real islands and kind of dump them in and then sort of riff off of stuff and grab other things from others, you know, landscapes, kind of splice them together. Is that kind of what you're talking about? This pose is very reminiscent of Amazing Fantasy number 15. Getting that vibe. Chip, I'll check out your Twitch page afterwards. Give you a follow and check it out. And I'm very curious. What did I say about the troll to good person ratio in the stream? Nipples for reference. Always kind of playing with the silhouette right now. I'm not worrying so much about structure up here, although I should probably. But let's just say it for argument's sake, it's something like that for now. Sorry, can't do it. Could do. You got that smooth criminal plane? That's what you need right now. Huh? Heath Alex says subscribe. Thank you very much. Zarlex has cheered as well. Thank you very much. Yeah, it looks nothing like Oku. It doesn't. I don't know what I'm doing there. Okay. Oh, wow. We have a raid coming in. Maximilian Dood. Good evening, Max. Welcome in. Hey. I should get rid of this Goku. Whoops. Here, we'll do something else. Just for Max. I've lost control of the stream. I don't know why I gave him a gap in the... Don't know why I gave him a gap in his teeth there. Did though. Omega Red has gone on a carb-free diet. Carb-free diet, apparently. I say hi back to Max. I was checking out his stream the other day. Let me tell you, it was pretty cool. They're playing Dragon Ball Z. Hey, well, I had Goku on there. What am I saying? And he was methodically kind of going through all these different changes in the game based on the latest patch or update or whatever. And then he started riffing about Capcom, Marvel versus Capcom, and that was pretty cool. I was looking at some of that art back in the day, and loved the roundness and the proportions actually that given the mutant characters. I think they used the costumes I worked on when I worked on the X-Men, but it was clearly an aesthetic based on the designer's own take on the X-Men, and it was a hugely popular game. So it's cool to have you guys in. Space Jockey 86, Baba Booey, Fafafooey. Do you listen to Howard while Twitch streaming? I can't because copyright purposes. But if I'm working and I'm not streaming, that is my go-to. I've got a flat Ronnie behind the green screen here. I've got just a little show and tell. Got this. I think there are 5 of these around. A Baba Booey action figure, and it says here on the back. Right now, my professional life is at a 9. Right now, my professional life is like at 9, but my personal life is like at a 2. So, those of you who listen to Stern, you guys know what this is all about. And actually, here, this is the Omega Red sketch that was won by one of the people in stream. Poop Kid, actually, so I gotta finish this up. Gotta white out the rest of the hand here, add more detail into all of this, and probably give him a little bit more of a butt down here. Kind of work on those pads a little bit. Maybe a little white splatter, kind of indicate crackling energy. But you get the idea. Yeah, there's someone named Poop Kid. Very scatologically. Yeah. Thank you very much, Max. Huge raid. Wow. Now I feel I have to accomplish something. I was just going on about, I don't know what else going on about perspective lines, I'm sure. Okay. So I did some major surgery. I basically moved this character's hips down, and then that put this person's knee into his crotch, and so I basically took that whole figure and moved it over. But what I got out of that movement is I got a little more of an upward sort of angle on this chest, like it's barreled. Like so, if you look at the chest cavity, we're looking up into the internal organs, right? So if there was vertices or like it was a 3D model, those are where the lines would go. So we've got movement, her kind of coming this way, and this character kind of going that way in space. Right. And I was going to draw this building, but it's covered by cape. This character's going to get bulked up but in a second, but I pose oftentimes with like a skinnier version of the character just to get the proportions, not the proportion, the structure right first. So. Chesticles, yes. Wanna get cut. Is this guy a professional artist or something? I'm definitely something. Anyway, so yeah, when I was checking out Max's stream, it was really awesome. So I got to see a little of what he does on stream. And then he had, like, on the wall behind him, he had all these comic books, bag comic books. And so, you know, this is a guy that, you know, has really lived a life of embracing all his passions. And it's great to see people being successful with that. And then I think his wife or girlfriend came on. And so that's really cute to watch them interact. And yeah, it was pretty cool. And to see sort of the community he had and the following and everything, I think just again demonstrates sort of the power, the uniqueness of this platform, and why I find it really engaging and interesting. So I want to give him a call. Oh, there you are. Hey, there you are. Hey, Max. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And so then I started following him on Twitch, on Twitter, and so we were talking about maybe doing some sort of collab because he actually draws too. He got these sketchbooks out. And he showed me these drawings from, there's a lot of manga drawings, but there are also drawings of like the X-Men. And I was like, hey, we could do something. So maybe at E3, I think it was going to be at E3, and we're talking about maybe meeting up one of the days. I'll be there at least one day, and maybe we can come up with some sort of cool idea and do something. Yeah, why not? Why not? Okay. Alright, so I should probably put something else here. So I'm already kind of indicating probably needs a little bit of a neck. So just pop it out a little bit. See that over there. All right, and I've already kind of creaked out the background. The goal really is to finish, what is it, 1 o'clock? Yeah. The goal is really to kind of finish one half of this, get it out to my inker so he can start tomorrow. And then I'll finish the balance of it in my hotel room in Orlando, mail it out so he gets it Saturday. And that's kind of how I work. I have to kind of find the time when I can. Space Jockey 86. In your career, did you ever think of making the leap into animation? You know, I'm not really like it's the difference between like singing and rapping. I don't know if I'm just going this way. We'll see if it ends up somewhere interesting. So they're kind of related, but not. Um, so the idea of drawing repeated imagery or just keyframes. I guess what I do more like keyframes, I guess. I like animation, but I'm not as into animation as I am to comic books. Yeah. It's just something that, comics is just something that hit me really hard when I was young, and my preference is kind of working with one or two, three, four people and producing a story. If I animated something, I'd probably want to like do as much of it myself as possible. It's just a different medium. You're telling stories with pictures versus telling a story with moving images, and then you also have sound and music, voice acting. And there's a lot of other stuff that goes into it. So early on in my career, I was like, a lot of people I knew that got into comics, the thing they would say is like, yeah, I work in comics. The second thing they would say is like, yeah, I'm probably going to direct someday. That's kind of what I want to get into. Almost trying to defend or rationalize their interest in comics with something that was more legitimate or relatable or understood by your layman. And, a little bit of a cop-out, especially if you didn't feel it. I just, I think I said it or thought it because that seemed like the next higher version of what it was I did drawing comic books, but it's not. It's a completely different thing. It's the difference between writing screenplays and novels, or poetry and novels. And comics as a medium is something worthy of spending your whole career or your whole life kind of focusing on, and that's very early on I decided that's what I wanted to do. Mudfrost, kind of like books versus audiobooks, both good but very different experiences. That's something they actually talk about on the Howard Stern show, and I'll just say that I don't think listening to an audiobook is reading. So I would never listen to an audiobook and say, I read that book. This shows my age, but honestly, I can't even... who's going to bed? Someone's going to bed. Good night, whoever is going to bed. Balutima. All right. Working with Frank Miller, I think I've said it a lot in interviews. It was really, proverbial dream come true, in that he was one of the guys that really influenced and inspired me into wanting to be a pure comic book creator versus this other stuff, kind of getting back to what I was talking about before. And his stuff just blew me away. It just... And actually, when I got to college, I kind of lost interest in comics. I was still getting a subscription, getting them delivered to my house, and kind of on winter breaks or on breaks I'd go home and then kind of read up. I had like 4 subscriptions, and then kind of read up on what I was missing out on. But I was just kind of going through the motions because I had collected comics before. But the stories, the narrative, the art, the coloring, it just didn't really speak to me. And then, boom, Dark Knight Returns came out, and that was just so different of an experience across all spectrums of creativity. The writing, the art, the coloring, the format, the paper, everything was different about it. And it just said, this is something that you could devote your whole life to and not be as good. And so it was a challenge and an inspiration at the same time. And that was 1986 when that happened. That was the same year I graduated from college. And then to find out decades later that I'd be working with Frank and count him as a friend and someone I can, someone I hang out with socially when I'm in town. It's not bad. Bellutima? Not messing up. I don't know. Is that a tie-in name? Zephyr Ball. People give Frank Miller a lot of crap these days, but DKR is still gold. I will say yes. I will back you up on that. But I will go even further, say people give everyone a lot of crap these days. It's not just Frank Miller. You go online, everyone gets crapped on. So that's why I don't take it personally. There's no one out there that's universally loved. Just doesn't exist. I think when you engage with hundreds of thousands of people on a social platform, the notion of getting everyone to agree that this is awesome, this costume looks awesome, or this take is awesome, just it doesn't exist. So it's not even something that one should strive for, and that's certainly it's not a reaction one should take too much to heart. I am a fan of Scotty Young. Really, really creative. Really designy, really impactful work. Hey, Ink One, how you doing, man? About team, yeah, you said my name correctly, but did you confirm? Are you Italian? Yes. There's always someone who craps on something for one reason or the other. Jerry Gonzalez has subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much, Jerry Gonzalez. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. You know, I was just going to also say tonight that I don't know how many more late night streams I'm going to do. But then, like, to get a reception like this and to be rated and stuff, it's pretty dang cool. I'll tell you, the reason is not because I don't want to be up late. I enjoy drawing late at night. I find it to be kind of the sweet spot for me in terms of getting stuff done and kind of getting in the flow, less distractions, all that stuff. But I had a physical recently, like this past Monday. My doctor asked me, like, so how are you sleeping? And I described this whole aphasic sleep cycle thing. He looked at me like I was insane. He looked at me like he needed to do an intervention on me as I explained to him how I kind of juggle having a day job, a big family, and also wanting to draw and be creative. And I don't want to minimize my time with my family and be known as someone who just is always, in his studio drawing, because that would be a horrible memory to pass on, a legacy to pass on. And so I kind of described to him, like, well, I'll work till like 3, 4, 5 in the morning. I'll sleep 2-3 hours, get up at 8, go to work. Then I'll take a nap during my lunch break for half an hour, power nap. And then I get home after work, I'll nap for another half hour. And that usually recharges me for the day, and I can start working again around 11 after everyone goes to bed in my family. And I know this is unhealthy because I've read it, and it must be true, right? But they say the single most unhealthy thing you can do to yourself is to deprive yourself of sleep. Worse than eating poorly, worse than smoking. People have literally died from gaming nonstop for like 3 days in a row and Korean internet cafes, right? And but that's how I kind of cheated the system, right? So I'm there for work, I'm there for my family. While they're sleeping, I'm drawing, and so I kind of burn the candle at both ends. But I know it's bad. At the same time, there are a number of notable people that were on an aphasic sleep cycle. My understanding is that Benjamin Franklin, Napoleon, There's some others. I Googled it. Is it aphasic or polyphasic sleep? The programmer art. It works great. I think if you don't, and I also explained to my doctor, I'll tell you that I sleep like, if I sleep 7 or 8, Nabil Ahmad also does it, so add him to the group. Because I was reading about it, like, is this a real thing? And it was. People explain how it's done, and I was just doing it on my own without really even thinking about it. I just kind of fell into it. But it's really, I was trying to explain to my doctor is that I can sleep 8 hours. I wake up, I feel as crappy as I do after 8 hours of sleep as I do from 2 to 3 hours of sleep. I wake up feeling like I've literally hatched out of an egg from an alien meteor that's crash landed on Earth, and I'm like inoperable, and it's almost like, oil system lights go on and engine check lights go on, they go off. It's like this mental checklist to kind of get my body operative and out of bed. And then even then I just feel like creaky and just, it's horrible. So what's the point of getting all the sleep if I feel just as crappy, right? But I think there's other repercussions from not sleeping. They say as long as you complete the REM cycle 2 to 3 hours is okay. Correct. Yes. But I can also only do it for maybe a week or so at a time. Usually, I sleep a lot on the weekends to kind of catch up. And I'll also say, I don't know if I'm at my most, I don't know if alertness is the right word, but I don't think I'm cognitively as sharp on a polyphasic sleep cycle. That said, I don't know how alert I am after getting 8 hours of sleep. I have a lot of things going on sometimes. Spend all my time thinking about who else didn't get a lot of sleep. What is Nabil doing? Nabil, it's 1 a.m. What are you doing? Anyone who needs some Yeezys, contact Nabil. He's the man. Do all the people need the same amount of hours? I think they say 6 to 8 hours. Massage. I think it's called getting old. Yes, it's true. I'm definitely older, and so I used to pull all-nighters, as you can imagine, in college. High school, actually, is when it started. But in college, all the time. High school, stay up all night cramming for tests, and then go in and take them and do well. And so it was definitely it was definitely a coping mechanism. And I think it's also sort of a badge of pride, Once you do like a 6-minute mile, you don't want to fall into a 7-minute mile as you get older. Right? So, but I know that I have to stop. So I will. So that means I can't do these late night streams. I have to figure out another way, and I don't know. I don't know how I can steal the hours. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's the weekend and you want to spend time, go to the park with your kids or swim with them or take them to, it's time to stop. All right, stream's over. What kind of comment is that? 350s, 750s, Jordans, whatever. Nabil's got the whole spread. He's got like stacks and stacks. I've got something in my eye. Stream from work. No, I guess that would be it. Is if I didn't have the day job, right? So you could stream while the kids were at school. Oh my God. Just sleep, dude. Welcome back, Kirihiko. Yeah. Hold on one second. I'm gonna put some water in my eye. And then I'm gonna start doing some details. As you see, I'm tightening up the backgrounds. Pity83 has cheered. Platypus has resubscribed. Jerry Gonzalez has subscribed. Remy LeBeau 92 has subscribed. Pepsi Man 20XX has subscribed. Thank you for the bits, Jerry Gonzalez. Cold Burger Art has subscribed. Welcome in. Heath Alex has subscribed as well. Appreciate the support, as Platypus has resubscribed for 5 months. Platypus. Yeah. Marco the artist, going to sleep. I'm struggling staying awake. Good night, Master Lee. Good night. Granddad Admiral Bertus. I'm saying I'm going to bed, but yet I'm still watching. I know, it's like the drawings, I don't know. What is it about drawing? I do kind of wonder myself sometimes, like, what is it about drawing that's sort of visually interesting? And the answer to me was, there isn't. I mean, it's like someone painting a wall. But I know a little of the feeling in that this guy, Bert Silverman, amazing watercolor illustrator, and I took a class once when I was subletting a place in New York City. A friend, fellow creator, Joe Rubenstein, who's an inker, said, hey, you should take these watercolor classes. I know this guy, I can get you in. And he taught kind of how to, and the watercolor stuff that did in Hush kind of came directly out of those classes I took with Bert, and I think that was his name, Bert Silverman? Bert Silverman? I have to Google it. It was many, many years ago, 17 years ago. And I remember watching it, like I understood exactly what he's doing, but I couldn't replicate what he was doing with the paint. He would move it around and make it do things to create form and volume. It was just, it was mesmerizing. It was like magic. And yeah, so that was pretty cool. Anyway, he should stream. Those are my perspective lines. Hope they look right. Yeah, I want to Google. He used to be back in the day, like National Geographic. They didn't have photographs. I mean, this was like the 50s, I think. They would hire illustrators. I mean, think of how cool it was back in the day before photography and digital ruined everything. Sorry. The reign of illustrators, right? When illustrators ruled the earth. Britney Spears 420 has subscribed. Thank you very much, Britney. Love your music. And when illustrators ruled the earth, like dinosaurs, and rather than send photographers, they sent illustrators to far-flung countries and remote locations, and they would I did a drawing for Britney Spears back in the day. I have a photo somewhere. She was holding it up, and it was a drawing of a fairy. Yeah, Bert Silverman, watercolor illustrator. So Bert was one of these guys. They would send him all around the world, like the jungles of Siam or Africa, and they would illustrate what they saw, and that's what they would run in these magazines. Yeah. So if you Google Burton Silverman, Bert Silverman. He painted the cover of 1971 Jethro Tull album Aqualung. I didn't know that. That was pretty cool. So yeah, he gave private lessons out of his Upper West Side studio in New York City, and so that's where I would go. He didn't like the way I drew this. I remember I had watercolor, like done something like that. He's like, no, shins, they don't bend like that. That was funny. Chunky Style 3030. Jim, warst du bitte so freundlich, uns mitzuteilen, welche Charaktere du gerade zeichnest? Nein. So anyway, yeah. So if I don't stream these crazy hours, I don't know if I would get these cool raids from people that were kind of ending their evenings. So, like I said, I have to kind of figure things out. Okay. It's 122. Federvogel, guten Morgen. Wie geht's in Deutschland? Friendly Pyro. Yeah. I mean, the Maximilian Dood has been kind enough to raid us before, and so yeah, it's pretty cool. Foreshortening still a pain. Donated. Thank you very much. I'm just glad I can get 3D figures because I hate to have someone model for me every time just to figure out foreshortening. Yeah, you know what though? With the advent of digital cameras and every phone having a camera, it's a lot easier to shoot reference all the time. So I have my kids, my wife, myself will, if there's a particularly tricky shot, I'll just shoot photo reference. It's so much easier to do today than before. The Ghost of Don Bradman has also donated. Jim, Batman 612 was one of the gems of my collection. I love the story and the cover. It was definitely one of my all-time faves. I would appreciate if you could talk a little bit about Your role respective to the art style and the story. Much love. My role. What do you think about this? 612 is the one where Superman's choking Batman. So that one, that story kind of came out of what I felt was, look, I said I'm a huge fan of Frank Miller, but, there's also a part of me that goes like, read DKR and like, yeah, it's great when Batman beats up on Superman, but let's face it, I mean, if Superman really wanted to defeat Batman, how hard would it be? Like, I'll fly up 5 miles and see you later. You won't even see me. You'll feel the heat of my vision, my heat vision, as it sears my initials across your brain, as your frontal lobes explode. Boiling heat. Right? Good night, Kuyamu. Zenith _KS is subscribed as well. Right? I've drawn pictures of Overwatch characters and given them away in stream before. MTNO has a message that I guess we'll see each other on Saturday at MegaCon. Yeah, it depends on who was writing it, and so I wanted to do a cover where Superman was kind of getting the better of Batman and doing it on his book. Just because so many people, like, I just like kind of, I don't know if I was trolling, I just kind of like playing the contrarian and kind of, it was cool to see, they're Superman fans, and there are lots of them, respond to that, and so that was kind of cool. But I think you're talking about Batman Hush in general. I think I touched on it already. Bert Silverman was an influence, definitely for the watercolor stuff. I'd taken these classes, and I kind of wanted to do something using that kind of knowledge and what I'd learned in that class. But a lot of it also came from Jeff Loeb. He recognized the sort of the pent up desire to, from fandom to see me take on Batman, and he crafted a story where almost the main members of his rogues gallery kind of took part in this huge murder mystery storyline, and that enabled me to, I told him, like, look, I love stories where the characters kind of start an adventure, but then they end up kind of being sidetracked and doing other stuff. It's kind of what I remember from the old Chris Claremont, Dave Cockrum, and John Byrne X-Men, and that the characters would move from location to location. It wasn't just in one set place, and so we had, the characters go to the opera. We had characters, go to, take on Ra's al Ghul. Now I'm just kind of sculpting a little bit, three-dimensionally in a two-dimensional space. So with sculpture, you're basically taking away elements to create a silhouette. And so I've got these up and down buildings, which I could completely have done super fast and been done with it. But I'm now taking the time to cut into it, carve out shapes to create unusual silhouettes of buildings. Right? Okay. How does he know what phenomenal gaming experience? What does he know how does he know what to draw? Does he picture the whole thing in his head before, or is he just drawing and going with it? A little bit of both, right? It kind of. I'm not musical at all. It's a completely different skill, but the way I understand it, it's like you have the sound, the song in your head, but then the act of creating the beat informs that information in your head. It's a combination of the two. So I have an idea of what I want to accomplish emotionally and compositionally, but I can't, until I put it on paper physically, I can't make the decisions I need to make it work. And sometimes it doesn't, right? So it's a little bit of kind of responding to the line itself. Right? But I know to put this ledge here because of where this, I wouldn't want to put the ledge right there. So this and this are compositionally aware of one another, right? There's a context between all the different lines and shapes. And so I'm thinking locally, but also at the same time strategically on a global level of what the final thing looks like. So when I get into the nitty gritty of how far is this from this line, I'm just looking at creating patterns here that work for the size of scale to make this look big and imposing as a building and in scale to these elements. But at the same time, I'm also thinking about this line, this silhouette compared to this line, this silhouette up here. You know, these lines interact, right? There's almost kind of a birthing kind of thing going on. Anyway, so yeah, so you're juggling a lot of information, but when you do it a lot, it feels pretty instinctive, feels pretty simple. Hey, proper artist, how you doing? Nolan Elric, let's all rip bongs. All right, let me get mine out here. Hold on. Okay, Kevinor. I'm doing good. How are you? I assume you are Korean. Jim takes a giant bong rip, then doodles. The answer is weed. MXD7, I'll watch the rest later. It's almost 6 a.m. Take care. Super Marvel Freak. This is a ton of fun to watch. Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. Want to get a cut. Jim Lee, what's wrong with the guy's right hand? Looks like all his fingers got blown off. That's right. I forgot to draw the rest of the fingers. Here we go. There's the thumb. There. Happy now? See you later, Ren. Thank you for modding. Appreciate it. Thanks for powering through to 1:30. Ren now has responsibilities of real life, so we welcome his continued commitment despite all that. So, dude, it's all right. I know you got Fortnite to attend to, leaderboards that you need to climb. So, who am I to hold you back from that game? He's lying, folks. I just think it's funny that you have to defend yourself. It's 1:30 in the morning. It's like, no, he's lying. I'm not. Sure, Ren, sure. It pops up in Discord. Ren Elephant, now playing Fortnite. How funny. I amuse myself. All right. I think I'm going to draw this half. All right. I'm going to actually draw these buildings. Alright. There's a little shorthand for drawing buildings at night. The lights come from the streets. Right, that's all. Most of the street lights, the window displays are on the ground floor on the street. So they create some really intense light, which shines up, which then, if there's a rooftop or a flat image like this, it actually makes black. So you can see that there are inconsistencies here with the perspective. So I'm fixing that. Okay. It's good to kind of lean back and look at it from a distance. So this is kind of what I meant by the sculpting part of it. I'm actually then taking kind of clay and putting it back onto the image here. Create some architectural interest. Think about architecture. Give you some simple shorthand. It's about creating visual interest through the use of lines and repetitive elements. A window being a prime example of repetitive element. Gargoyles. Nebulous 99. What tips do you have for me to draw poses from the imagination? Is it more important for me to practice drawing figures from my head, use photo reference, or draw figures from life? I like drawing figures from life. There's an urgency to it. You see things three-dimensionally. You get to it's the difference between seeing a picture of someone and being in their presence, right? There is a physicality to someone's presence, right? And that's kind of fun to try to capture in a drawing. But man, I would say the short answer is all of the above. Don't limit yourself to one thing. Sort of like cross training, right? If you're trying to build up muscle groups, right? They say don't do the same thing over and over. Your muscles basically kind of get used to it and stop growing. So you want to start doing different things with the same muscles to kind of shock it out of its complacency, to keep it kind of growing and learning. So I would say your cognitive abilities, the way you kind of think about drawing, constructing figures. If you do the same poses over and over, the same kind of learning, using photo reference, or if you're doing it from memory, it just, you get good at that one thing. If you cross-train and do all of the above, I think you start getting insight into all, drawing from life makes your drawing from imagination better. And drawing from your imagination makes your drawing from real life more interesting. It just does. Because the object is not just to, in my opinion, redraw what you see, but to add your own take on that reality. Good night, Chunky Style 3030. Anatomy Stream is probably a bad idea for a title. I exported some like Batman pinups. I was doing a Batman pinup, but that was the name of the file to YouTube, and I got flagged. I'm like, why did I get flagged? It had to go through a manual review because pinup would suggest nudity or something. So, yeah, gotta choose your words carefully, I guess. TDK fan 718. I'm taking this all in. Great. Fill up. Drink in. Drink deep. Drink deep. Drink deep. Drink deep? That's Yoda. That's my Yoda impression. One Cold Monkey, YouTube, the uptight grandma of the internet. A shot of whiskey on stream. I do have some whiskey over there. No, you'd see my face get all red. I'm allergic to alcohol. But it hasn't stopped me from trying to build a tolerance to that allergy, to said allergy. I still have that song stuck in my head. Woo! Yeah, Papa Lasher. It is a bummer, dude. About 70 or 75% of Asians are missing an enzyme that allows them to process alcohol. And that's why their faces get really red and they have really bad allergic reaction. Asian glow, yes. Cyber scary. Asian flush. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Programming art. I love processing alcohol. Yeah. A lot of Asian people then get the mutation to be able to drink milk too. Yeah, but Asians can be really heavy drinkers. Yeah, it's just uncomfortable, and you do get used to it if you drink quite a bit. But if you take Pepsid AC, the phatamine, I think that's how it's pronounced. It helps alleviate some of the symptoms, and it makes it for a more pleasurable drinking experience. See all the useful things you learn in stream. Yeah, Punker 13. We got gosh, we had like a 4,000 person raid from Maximilian Dood. So that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Nolan Elric, hey mom, Jim taught me how to get drunk even though I'm allergic. I hear turmeric and black pepper help the use in Japan to prevent hangover. You know, I'll tell you though, while we're on this topic, even though I get the Asian glow, I rarely, if ever, have a hangover, for what that's worth. I just don't wake up with a headache or even feeling too tired. It does completely interrupt my sleep cycle, though. I can't sleep more than like 5 hours if I drink. Just wake up. TDK fan 718. Yeah, they completely spammed the channel, dude. Beliasa, hey, how you doing? No hangovers confirmed. Correct. Casual Hero, you aren't drinking enough. Doch. I have to disagree. Snow of the Black. Jim Lee has been an inspiration to me for a long time, thanks to Max. I had no idea you streamed on here. This is amazing. I wonder what other artists stream. Dave Peterson, I think Ryan Benjamin, Proper Artists, Ink One. They're here in stream, I believe, or were. Yeah. Roy Batty 006, do I like soju? Yeah, it's alright. It's not my first go-to. Okay. A visual artist was 4,000 plus people, the largest stream you've ever had. You acted like it was no big deal. No, it was a very big deal. I hope I didn't react. You know, I think I'm 53 years old. Yeah. No, it's very cool. It's very, very cool, and I think 5,000 is kind of where it's been before. But you know, I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. And Instagram is actually more of a engaged audience. I think for Twitter you have to be on a lot and really engage in conversations with people to really get, you know, the favorites and the retweets and stuff like that. Instagram seems very focused on the image. So it's, you know, whatever, 300,000 plus on each platform. So you put out a post with art, you know, you're getting like 20,000, 30,000 or more likes. So this is actually the smallest community of people that I reach. But 4,000 concurrent is pretty cool, and certainly more than I would get if I went live on Instagram or whatever. So yeah. So I don't know. It's a weird thing. I've been doing this for a long time. So I've sold a lot of comic books. So it's cool because it's a lot of people relative to what we normally have in the stream. But I look at it for what it is, which is an opportunity to reach new people, and so I want to actually keep drawing rather than kind of talk, I guess, which is the opposite of what I just did, I have watched Kirihiko stream, I think twice though. I think one time I said something, I think sometimes but usually I'm at the office, and sometimes I'll just have Twitter on in the background. Twitch on in the background. Mr. Dibbler, so what you're saying is we're not real people? No, you are real people for sure. I think this is professional. Dusky Snacko. I think I was trying to be professional. And I'll tell you that I think it's just kind of my approach. I don't know what it is. So if you go out, you go to Comic-Con, let's say you go to MegaCon, which I'll be going to tomorrow. Sometimes you meet fans that are generally very kind of touched by what you've done and the work that you've produced. And I try to be very thoughtful in my response, appreciative, encouraging, whatever. And so I think that's kind of what I was trying to do. But yeah, I mean, I'm super appreciative. I mean, it's really cool. I mean, I think Twitch is an amazing platform. People are awesome on Twitch, but I think it's also the hardest, at least if you're not gaming per se, to grow. I look at a lot of creatives, and one of the biggest is Bob Ross, who's no longer with us, and so and he has a real retro vibe. So how do new people kind of emulate that, and how do they kind of break out? And I don't have, and I think someone we rated, someone in their chat was another kind of up and coming, struggling artist trying to break on through, and I could sense the frustration in that person's posts or comments, and it's tough. And I think raids are obviously an amazing way of kind of sharing different people's work with a wider community of people, and I think it's kind of unique to this platform, and so I think it's really cool. Gears Art. Hey, good morning. Creative has a lot of potential, but will need some cultivation. I agree. I think it's interesting to me. I try to sample a wide array of streamers, people that are creatives or weightlifters or comedians or poker players. Obviously, the gaming communities have the gaming community has its stars. There's a formula for kind of success. You find a game that you're amazing at and you're good at it, and people respond to that. But beyond that, I think it gets far trickier, exactly what people are looking for. Casual Hero has cheered. When designing buildings, do you use reference, have architectural experience? What is the thought process here? My reference is this. I don't on my screens. I've got Streamlabs, I've got Chat, I've got Twitch, OBS, and Google, which has Batman 612, the cover up. So that's it. I look at a lot of buildings. I've looked at a couple architectural books. Whenever I travel, I look at the buildings. I look at what I like about them, why buildings look cool. Are there a couple shorthand things I could do to replicate a building in that style? What's the difference between an Art Deco building from the skyscraper from the 1920s versus a post-industrial revolution kind of era brick structure? What does a renovated post-industrial building look like that's been turned into, a tri-use inner city, artist studio? What differentiates buildings of New York City versus Chicago, from Tokyo, from Paris? Paris has no skyscrapers in it. I mean, well, there's a whole section that has it, but the main, like the French Quarter, the French Quarter. I'm losing it. What I'm trying to say is the buildings there have a unique look to them and a certain height. Same thing in Washington, D.C. Nothing's taller than the Washington Monument. So these are things that you just take in, and it's good to look at architectural books, but not just look at the pictures, but really kind of dissect the structure of it. I was just reading an article online the other day about how architects are kind of trying to move away from just glass structured buildings. They're kind of all the rage for a while, that they're trying to get back to different materials, because glass buildings are notoriously bad in terms of energy use and the way they conserve power. Not good, right? So it's interesting to think about why buildings look a certain way and when they start looking a different way. Fascist architecture versus Romanesque architecture, all that stuff. Gothic buildings, Gothic churches, all that. So yeah, you can spend a whole career, a whole life just studying that. But there's a number of books that kind of walk you through sort of the history of architecture in a very, very simple, basic way. So that's kind of what I took in. It's going to change, unfortunately, and that's too bad. I think Paris is actually I think it's probably the most beautiful city I've seen in the world so far. It's amazing. Many times as I've visited, it still astounds me just kind of walking around or driving around. You enter a new square and just see stuff you haven't seen before. Just every square, it's so many beautiful looking areas in this, just fabulously designed city, I think, and just spend days there. So it's not going to be all buildings of the stream. I'm going to finish this figure as well. I like the skyscrapers that have grass on the roofs. Well, if you go to a city like Lucca, they have towers, and families, noble families there would compete with one another to build the tallest towers. The more towers that you had and the taller they were, the richer and more powerful your family was. And on some of the tops of these towers, they actually did plant trees. And so if you're going to do an image of Luca, that's what you would want to put in there. So, and that's why whenever there's a story set in Paris, in a comic book, there's always that shot of the Eiffel Tower in the background somewhere. It's almost kind of like a... It's almost like a joke in a way, right? Stereotypical joke. They have a creative corner now, so artists had their booths at TwitchCon. Attack. I don't know. I don't think there are many people in shape in comics, but I think you're just looking at a wide-angle lens. I'm a pretty short, stout person. I don't really work out. I should, but I haven't, unfortunately. And that was another thing I was talking about, this physical that I took. It was kind of like, you need to exercise. And like, I know. It's hard though. You gotta eat well. And there was a time when I was just eating just Taco Bell at 2 in the morning. I mean, thank you, Postmates. Taco Nut, 4 a.m., worth it. What, the tacos or just the stream? You need to exercise, yeah. Do I have a late night go-to sandwich? If we have turkey, I'll make myself a fresh turkey sandwich. Mustard. Oh, that's so good. So good. Guinigi Tower, if you want to see the reference, yeah. Just Google Towers of Lucca and you'll definitely see what I was talking about. It's pretty cool. Gotta take care of stuff so you can be around for the future, fam. Yeah, that's exactly, I think, what the doctor was saying. Not that I'm not in decent shape, I'm just not, like, in good shape. So, I'll get more of the results after the blood work comes back. Towers of Luca. That's my Murloc impersonation. What was that, Jim? I don't know. Super Marvel Freak. I'm on effing cholesterol meds for the rest of my life. Yeah, so I have high cholesterol too. That was the last time. That's when my blood work turned up. I'm sure it's going to confirm that again, that it's probably worse. Yeah. Probably should eat better. That's a bummer, man. Life. You should be born crappy, and then it should just get better and better. Oh, wait, it does until you hit like 30. 40, actually. Night Spooky. How many push-ups can I do? One really awesome one. I think there was a time... You guys can ask Ryan Benjamin. We had a push-up contest once in the studio. I'm not saying who won. He can share that information with you. I don't know. I think like 99, 100, something like that at one point. I don't know. Crohn's, Crohn's disease is pretty bad. I mean, there's different severities of it, but I had a cousin-in-law that had it. Pandemis. No, you gotta see the doctor. I mean, it sucks, but you gotta do it. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. $2:00. I think I was gonna scream till 2. I gotta finish this, so I'm just gonna power through and finish it. No, not almost done. Far from it. The speed at which you work varies so much. I really need to learn when to slow down and when you just move on. Not sure what that means, but when I move on to the next element? When I'm done? The buildings are more time consuming than the figures. I don't know. I don't really... Depends. I mean, if I just did these kind of buildings, I'd be done. I mean, this, for someone that's trying to get something done quickly, I could have blasted out a bunch of straight lines here and been done with it, right? Kiriko. Sure, don't worry. I'm not gonna say I'm almost done. Not even close. But if I had to guess, I was gonna say 4, which means probably 6, which is not good because cars come in at 7:30 to take us to the airport, and I need to pack. And this is a trickier. Normally, if I'm just traveling, no big deal. I got that down. When there's a convention, there's all this other stuff I have to bring, like art supplies, prints, sketch covers, etc., etc., etc. Stanley4 has hosted for 5 years. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You ever forget something important? Of course. Happens all the time. I forgot to introduce our mods. Like we had Ren Elephant before. And then we have Kate, of course, now. If you're wondering who these people are, there you go. Very quick primer. DGMT, new here. This is cool. Perfect thing to watch while winding down. Are you winding down from playing Dragon Ball Z? Thank you for the bits, Casual Hero. I wasn't seeing your work speed. Don't worry, I don't. I may sound like I'm easily offended, but I'm not. I'm just reacting to things said online. Trying to take a point of view. I was saying that I personally need to learn to slow down and when to move on from being stuck. Wolf McQueen has cheered very generously. I appreciate it. It's time for me to attempt to sleep soundly. It's a time for me to attempt to sleep soundly. Thanks to the mods for all that you do, and as always, thank you, Jim, for the amazing content and great conversation. Have a safe trip. Thank you very much, Wolf McQueen. I appreciate you coming in, staying up late. Hope you have a wonderful, restful sleep, and hopefully you can catch the rest of the stream on VOD later. All right, have a good one. See you later. Quick draw 13. My lovely future wife just got home. I have to jet. Safe travels. Fish oil. I may have to try that. Good night, one cold monkey. Have a good one. Nolan Elric just did 34 push-ups. Boom. Congrats. Roy Uvu. I do usually draw with talk radio. The Howard Stern show is usually what I listen to, but and music. But for I usually export the videos to YouTube later, and it's problematic if you use copyrighted content. It's a hassle. It has to delete it, and just it's not clean. See you, Savant. Good night. Worst case scenario is I don't finish tonight. I'm trying to give myself an out. I take it with me to Florida. What day would that be? Thursday. We get in Thursday night. Finish it Thursday night, Friday morning. Ship it, get Saturday. I'd have to finish the whole thing. Oof, that's a little tight. Get to Saturday, finishes Monday. Colors by Tuesday. That's the deadline. Man, if I didn't spend 5 hours at the or 4 hours at the DMV today, and I do really mean the DMV as opposed to the office. We kind of use the DMV as a shorthand for I'm watching the stream at the DMV. When in fact you're watching it from your workplace. The goal was to kind of tackle this early, and that would have been nice, but no such luck. It was so crowded. I've never seen it that crowded before. Not just one, we went to 2 different DMVs. And it might be because everyone's got to sort of upgrade their IDs to these real identification cards or whatever by 2020, or actually 2018, I think, is when we're going to start requiring a more robust form of identification. There you go, Baliasa, real DMV confirmed. I'm DMVing from home, yeah. I'm waiting outside the DMV. There you go, see, everyone's at the DMV. TDK Fan 17. I'm going to WonderCon in Orlando. Oh, you know what else kind of screwed my deadline? I did go out to dinner. Some friends of ours invited us out to an amazing Italian restaurant, so we're there from 7:30 to 10. That might have been also good to kind of draw a little bit. I just reinforced that the light's coming up. So if there's a doodad, it's gotta be dark on the top. Okay. Let that just sit there for a second. The calendar here. Yeah, okay. I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom, so I'm going to return shortly. All right. Missed the chair stream. All right. It's 2:28. I'm gonna probably call it here, but let's do this. I just realized I have this sketch here. Does this go to somebody? Poop Kid's awake. I didn't know that. Can you see that? I think I'm gonna stop here and figure out probably better for me to try to get some sleep and then draw tomorrow night in the hotel when we land. Kirihiko's, tell me early enough. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, I think this is Kirihiko's arm sketch. I see her name on the back. Right here. So, I'm going to put this aside next to the other drawing I have for her. I was just about to give away her drawing, but that's why I put it out there. Let's see what else I have in here. Oh, okie That one is also. So as I draw, this is something, I think some people, I sent out some stuff that wasn't signed, so this is signed multiple times. Well, I think I was talking about pants, offending people with my sandals. I don't know. If people are interested in this, I'm going to give it away. Kirihiko, if you could also load up a raid, that would be fantastic. Okay. So let me go to Nightbot. If you guys are interested, just type something in chat. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to spam. Just have to say hello or whatever. It just automatically makes you eligible. If you win, I will contact you. There's some postage involved depending on where you live. If you PayPal that to me, I'll mail this out probably next week. It takes me usually about a week or 2 weeks to get stuff out, just because we're very busy and usually wait till I have a bunch to send out all at once. But I want to thank the mods, Kirihiko, Ren Elephant, for being here and moderating the stream. I want to thank what was the guy's name? Chip Whitehouse, who hosted with like 32, and Maximilian Dood for the very generous raid. That was really awesome. Kind of actually gave me kind of a spike of energy, kind of kept powering through. But I've got this pretty far done at this point. I just have to do the figure, which will take some time, but I feel confident. But I feel like it's probably better at this point to sleep a bit. So we're going to give this away to someone in the stream. You don't have to be a sub. You can just be someone that just kind of wandered here. And I'm not even sure why I'm doing this, other than to show you, keep it loose, especially when it comes to fabric. So thank you guys for tuning in. I will be back on stream, I believe, Sunday morning, but I'm not 100. Like when I say morning, like 8 in the morning Eastern time, which is like 5 in the morning Pacific. So maybe that's not good. Maybe I should stream Sunday night. Anyway, it will be on the Discord channel, which you guys should also follow. It fills in all the information in between live streams. It'll also be on the Twitch front page, my front page of the next stream, but I would like to stream either Sunday or Monday or both. And there's sketching involved, giveaways for different subscribers. Excuse me. So I'm going to hit the roll here. See who's eligible. Got everybody here. So I'm going to roll in a couple seconds here. If you're interested in winning, please just type something in the chat. That will make you eligible. And then look out for Whisper, because that's the way I reach you. Francis Manipul, I think, was talking about streaming. I don't know if he's streamed yet or not. But thank you guys for tuning in. I tell you that we cover a lot of ground. I try not to repeat myself in what we talk about. Try to give you a little glimpse into the artist's life, the things that kind of are my mind, things that I have to deal with as I kind of enter in this kind of new part of my career of sort of being out there more on social media. And so thank you guys. All right. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad that Francis Manipul started. He's a terrific guy, terrific artist. I encourage you guys to follow him and watch him as well. You should check out Chip Whitehouse's stream, Ink One, Proper Artist, Eric Canetti, David Peterson, Ryan Benjamin. There are so many great artists. Kirihiko, Armand, also streams every now and then. So check those people out. And I will see a lot of you guys at MegaCon this weekend, this Saturday actually. So here we go. I'm going to roll. The winner is Heather and Lace, following since May 23rd. That would be today. Congrats, a new member. It's going to get this beautiful half a shirt, some ink smudges, some pants, a sandal, and it looks like a Batman side headshot and a billiard ball. So if you're into it, I'll send you a message. If you won by accident, no harm, no foul. But I'll send you a message. Oh, cool. Let me go here. All right, so we're going to go now rate someone. That's what we typically do. So if you guys are going to hang around, I'm going to hang out for about 5 minutes or so to say hi to whoever we're going to raid. Please make yourself known. Be polite. Be considerate. Be supportive. That's what this is all about. So thank you guys again. So Heather and Lace, I'm going to send you a message right now, so I don't forget. There you are. All right, cool. And here we go. Load her up. Take care, guys.